Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of our HTML class. In today's episode, we'll be learning about HTML paragraphs. HTML paragraphs. So HTML paragraphs are used to display blocks of text on a web page. They help you to present your content in a clear and readable way. And these paragraphs in HTML are created using the p tag. Yes, they are created using the p tag. Remember we discussed tags in our earlier class. So each paragraph automatically starts on a new line, and browsers add some spacing before and after it to improve readability. So this makes your text look neat and well structured without effort. And paragraphs are commonly used for articles. Yeah, they are commonly used for articles, descriptions, explanations, and any form of written content on a web page. Now let's move on and see how to create and use HTML paragraphs in practice. Okay, let's go back to our VS Code. I'm sure we are familiar with this p tag already. So this is actually a paragraph. But first, let me use the h tag as our heading and just call this HTML paragraphs. Okay, so let's use our p tag. Oh, sorry. P tag. So like I said the HTML p element defines a paragraph, and a paragraph always starts on a new line. So, and I said browsers automatically add some white space or margin before and after a paragraph. So for example, I say this is a paragraph. Then I open another p tag again and say this is another paragraph. Okay, so let's view this. Let's see this in our browser. Okay, wow, you can see how clean the paragraph is. This is our heading, of course, you can see. Then this is a paragraph. This is another paragraph. So like I said earlier, that the HTML p element, as it defines a paragraph, it always starts a new line, and the browser automatically add some white space we refer to as margin before and after a paragraph. You can see this is a paragraph. There is a white space or a margin in between this. So before this paragraph and after this paragraph. It's as easy as that. So HTML display. So you cannot be sure how HTML will be displayed. Large or small screens and resized windows will create different results. So with HTML, you cannot change the display by adding extra spaces or extra lines in your HTML code. So the browser will automatically remove any extra spaces and lines when the page is displayed. Let's go back to our VS Code. Go back to our VS Code. So this is what I'm just going to say. This is HTML display. HTML display. So using this p element, which is this paragraph, is p tag. Okay, I'm just going to simply say, okay, maybe this paragraph contains a lot of in the source code. Okay, but the browser ignores it. So there's something I want us to understand here. So this is the first P. You can see so if I decide, this explains the statement I made earlier. So if I decide to add more spaces to this, like I said, the browser will automatically ignore all other spaces. So you can see I said this paragraph contains a lot of lines in the source code, but the browser ignores it. So even if, let me add more lines, more spaces, and save. So let's view this. You can see this paragraph contains a lot of lines in the source code, but the browser ignores it. So you can see the browser actually ignores these spaces, line spaces. So that is HTML display for you. So the paragraph contains a lot of lines in the source code, but the browser ignores it. So okay, let's repeat this same. Okay, here, let me reduce the lines. I'm gonna reduce these lines. So look at, still the browser is going to ignore it. You can see it ignores these lines. So that is HTML paragraphs, or the HTML displays rather, for you. So let's talk about the HTML. Let's discuss the HTML horizontal rules. The HTML horizontal rules. HTML horizontal rules. So when we say the HR tag, we're referring to the horizontal rules. So the HR tag defines a thematic break in an HTML page and is most often displayed as a horizontal rule. So the HR element, if you still remember our elements, the HR element is used to separate content or define a change in an HTML page. So this let's create an example on this. This is what a horizontal rule or means. Okay, let's say, let me use the h2 here. So if I say this is a heading, this is the heading, then p maybe this is some text. This is some text. Just going to copy this and this. So right in between this, I'm going to use the horizontal rule. So which is done by using the HR tag. So HR tag. Okay. So now let's save this, and let's go to our web browser and click on this. Now look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? So like I said, that the HR element is used to separate content or define a change in an HTML page. You can see how we use the HR tag as the horizontal rule to separate this from this and also this. So remember we discussed an empty tag. So HR tag is an empty tag. Remember what we say about empty tags? So HR tag is an empty tag, which means that it has no end tag. You know, when we discussed about the tags, we say, for example, the P tag, this is a start tag, this is an end tag. So H2, this is a H2, this is start tag, this is an end tag. But the HR tag is an empty tag, which means it has no end tag. We just use this, just like the BR tag too. The BR tag for the break. So so also is the HR tag, is an empty tag. So HTML line break, I think we discussed that earlier, but let's just go into that briefly, just to remind us the BR tag. So in case you missed the BR tag earlier, I'm just simply going to give an example of the BR tag here. So I'm just going to say HTML line break. So let's just quickly do something on the line break. Like I said earlier, that the HTML BR elements defines the line break. So use BR if you want a line break, a new line, without starting a new paragraph. So this is what we mean by that. So if, for example, I want to say this is a paragraph. This is a paragraph with line. Okay, yeah, okay, say line breaks. Line breaks, meaning it's not just a break. We're going to add more than one break. So let's add one break here, and let's add another break here. So we say this is a paragraph with a line breaks. So if we look at this, usually without the BR tag, I think this is what we're going to have. This is a paragraph with line breaks. But if we actually look at this paragraph, there is no break. So we're simply going to use the BR tag to add the break. So using the BR tag here, we are going to add this break, and now you can see this is a, then we have a break, paragraph with a break again, line breaks. So you can see how the BR, which is the line breaks, using the BR element, HTML BR elements. So like I said, the BR tag is an empty tag, which means it has no end tag. Same as our HR, which is the horizontal rules. It's also an empty tag because it has no end tag. Okay, so sorry. let's go back to our code. So you can take your time and go through these lines of code, and if you have any question, you can simply drop your question in the comment section. And please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of these videos. This is episode 3 of the HTML class, so more episodes are on their way. So for us to get more of these videos, we need to subscribe. It's free. Just simply click on the icon above, and then you're simply going to get notified when we have a new video. So we're going to be posting more of these. So if you find this video helpful, please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in the next class. Thank you.